Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 7. I'm Jason,
I'm Rich
and welcome.
to Thinkers, Drinkers with Cigars. I actually said that wrong. I constantly say Thinkers, Drinkers. Like I forget the and in the middle every time we open, or at least when I open. Welcome to Thinkers and Drinkers with Cigars.
There you go.
There we go. If I just slow down.
Right.
Guys, thank you for all the love over the last 6 weeks. 6 weeks. This is episode 7. I want you to look right down, subscribe, hit the subscribe button because we're pretty hilarious.
I think we are.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you want to tune into all the bullshit that we talk about every week.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah. We've got a little special episode tonight. We are pairing makers with makers. And they have just this unique opening experience with everything. So I'm going to have you do the bottle, and I'll do the cigars.
Good deal.
So back in, Jason, this is the youngest bourbon we've ever tried.
Not really.
Yeah, this is from 1953. Not this bottle itself, but the company came out in 1953.
It's awful clean.
And it was the Samuels family. And Bill Samuel Sr. had this idea. He was an engineer. And he wanted to make a smoother bourbon. So, him and his wife and his son developed this. And the difference is they don't use rye in their mash. So they use this red winter wheat instead of the rye. And that gives it the smooth finish. And his wife, Margie, came up with the bottle design, the label, and the signature wax.
That is a rather large bottle. I might be here for a while. I'm not drinking this one.
And it's a good price bottle. And glasses, courtesy of our friend Carla. This was a gift to us. And it's a cool, I'm not sure if this cigar fits in the glass, guys. And Jason, I'm not sure if you're supposed to like glass and smoke and drink. I mean, it's pretty cool, but I'm not totally sure of the function. So I've got a.
So I am actually an ambassador for Maker's Mark.
What? How? Why didn't you tell me that?
I think I did. I think that was one of the very first things we talked about was doing the ambassadors for bourbon and cigars, and Maker's Mark accepted me.
What?
Some people don't accept me, but they did.
Do you have a badge? Do you have a patch?
I
love denim jackets.
There's a website and everything that we log into, and we can check stuff, and it's really neat.
Can we let them know that we're doing this right now?
I think we definitely should. We should definitely copy them on the Instagram page, and the Twitter page, Twitter or Tweeter, whatever that is.
I don't think we have a Twitter. Our TikTok. We got our TikTok and we got our Instagram, and of course, you guys are watching us on YouTube.
Yep.
A little fun fact about this cigar: there was a company, Ted's Cigar, which is, to me, just an incredible name for a cigar company, Ted's. He, in 1996, went to the Kentucky Derby, which was sponsored by Maker's Mark, and brought these bourbon, the Maker's Mark infused cigars. And that's how this collaboration started.
I do enjoy this brand, I will say. And I've had this combination before. It's quite popular.
This is my first time doing the Makers on Makers.
Really?
That sounds dirty. Bill Samuels Sr. noticed that people stopped dipping their cigars in the bourbon, and he wanted to have the experience in the cigar of you just doing that.
What I'm assuming they were dipping not the lid end into the bourbon, right?
No, that'd be dumb.
Yeah.
But guys are dumb. We've
do
established
dumb
that.
things. There's a lot of things that make us do dumb things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. Oh man. So what are we talking about this week? Is it jobs, AI things?
I
I see AI is taking over. I'm waiting for my AI house cleaner type robot.
the lady robot from the Jetsons.
I would love that.
I know.
And didn't they have a cat or something too that ran around?
Yeah, it let Mr. Jetson. I can't even remember his name. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a lot of years.
George.
George Jetson.
George Jetson.
He went to go chase the cat, and he came in, and he
Yeah.
was stuck outside.
Yeah. Or was that the Flintstones?
Mm-hmm. Same company.
Same company.
Same company. Hanna-Barbera.
But yeah, I mean, this AI thing is really starting to take off.
First thing, I love robots. So when they take over,
And
I'll
they
be
will.
yeah, they will. I love robots. Let me be a house servant. I'll cook your oil. I don't know what robots need for food.
Right.
Okay,
But
yeah.
it's definitely coming. I mean, there's AI on your phones now. You
Mm,
look stuff up. There's AI and everything, and it's a great thing. I'm glad that we're making this technology move. I just hope that the people that are doing this are smart enough to know what they're doing.
I don't think they do.
They
We've
probably
had
don't.
so many movies. We've had iRobot
Yeah,
and the Terminator, where this technology becomes sentinel.
it always ends bad for
Yeah,
us.
for
I
us.
cannot think of a movie that it doesn't end
Yeah,
bad for us.
we are setting ourselves up for our own destruction because we've got these tech people that want to push these limits, and we're gonna be there, at their beckoning call.
Right. With all this happening, AI taking jobs, and that's always a thing. Something about jobs, or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that was a thing not too long ago with like the longshoreman strike, where they didn't want computer and technology; they wanted to limit it because it
Mm-hmm.
was taking jobs,
Job,
and
yeah,
that's definitely something we need to be concerned about. I
yeah.
mean, people got to work,
Mm-hmm.
and I think AI taking over too much and taking jobs. Well, what are we all going to do? I know we can't just sit around all day and watch TV.
My job's threatened. Someone can go onto an AI site, type in a credential, and say make a design.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be obsolete soon, so we need this to take off. So, sponsors,
Right.
come talk to us.
there's always going to be some need for the human hands. I think
Mm,
that's my biggest thing. There's going to be a need for the hands.
we're both lucky because we know how to do construction,
Right.
but there's going to be a construction bot that might build a house.
I actually did see something the other day about some kind of robot that they're training to, I guess I shouldn't say training. I don't know if you
Huh.
really train a robot,
Hey,
but
program. Yeah.
programming this robot to do certain construction functions. The only thing I would say with that is construction changes minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. I don't know if they could ever perfect that. Maybe, down the road they can, but
You know how finite
right,
computer code is,
right.
though?
So, but I think it's just something that everybody's got to be careful on is this AI
Mm,
stuff. I mean,
There
we
was
got to work.
something a couple years ago, and I think it was Google and Twitter set up their AI bots, and they had to shut it down because they were creating their own language
Mm.
to talk to each other, and they shut that down. But now we have Chat GPT. I don't know if you know what that means, what that is.
I
I
think I've seen it on Snapchat or something. Just the little person at the top of it that says you're AI guy or whatever.
I use it a lot at work, and if one of my clients says I need some copy written based on these little bullet points, I'll go into ChatGPT, put the bullet points in, and say write copy, and it'll give me 5 choices, and they're better than anything I could have written.
So this is what all the kids are using in school, I imagine.
There's also they could write thesis papers, and that's scary because these college kids could go in and type in, I want this, and a thesis will come up.
Hmm.
And then this kid will graduate with no knowledge.
There's a lot of kids graduating without knowledge
Mm,
right now, which
mm,
is that's a whole nother story, but we'll
mm.
do, I'm sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's technology is moving so fast. I mean, just think about it. 50 years ago, um,
We just had a computer.
yeah, and computers were tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
When they first came out. I mean, your Apple computer was,
Mm, a couple
massive.
thousand, yeah.
Yeah.
A couple thousand. I remember, did you get when you were in grade school, did you have the one Apple IIe where you got to play Lemonade Stand?
I don't remember that. I do remember playing the Oregon Trail.
Mm.
That was a great game. Um, and then I think probably my technology kind of maxed out in grade school.
Uh,
Remember the calculator watches,
yes.
the Casio
Hmm.
calculator watches? Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a trend.
That was a thing, and who would have ever thought that watches now? I don't wear that kind of
We could
watch.
Dick Tracy watches now.
Right.
We could it's a phone
Right.
on our watch.
Right.
And that was a comic book in the 50s.
Yeah, but just think about how far. I mean, all the technology and AI in that little tiny watch on your wrist
Mm.
versus 1975. We were I mean, we were in the Stone Age
Yeah.
then compared to now with technology.
We are in a generation where we got this beautiful technology. And in 25 years, it moved so fast. So fast. Even just like we still play video games.
Mm-hmm.
And you remember the games we played when we were kids? It was like a little square. Now we're human figures running around
Right. Right.
a map.
And I mean, with the jobs and the AI and all these years ago, and you look back and you're like, you know what? Our parents had jobs that they worked for decades
Yeah.
because there was nothing going to replace them.
No.
The secretary, they had secretary pools, the receptionists, whole pools of folks that for decades they worked on that, or the graphic designer, the architect. Our parents had jobs for decades.
My dad worked at the same company for 40 years. I've had in my 5 years worked at like 9 different jobs.
Right.
And I have they had job security, they had pensions.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what a pension is.
Right.
Do you have one?
I do have one.
You
I
do
have a pension, yes. Luckily, it got started 20 some years ago. So who knows if it'll be around in 20 some years,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I'll be around in 20 some years. So who knows?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like an eternity from
we
now.
do have bad stuff.
We do have bad stuff. But,
so I'm in the art field.
Mm-hmm.
And this AI can do my job. And art and music, and I could type in something and this robot will make music for me. And it's scary because we've got 2 boys that are interested in music and they're learning the guitar and the piano. But they also keep telling me if I type this in, they'll just make the music for me. And I don't it's scary because I'm a creative.
Mm-hmm.
And I want them to know that creative without just typing in bullet points.
Yeah, and for me being in construction and everything, I think it'll be a little while before it catches up on my side, with the labor, with the physical labor and everything. But I mean, look how fast it got here.
Yeah.
I mean, again, 1970s to now, look how far we've come in technology. Now, that doesn't mean we're any smarter, because I think the further our technology goes, the dumber we as a people get.
I'm going to disagree with you there.
Okay.
Because we are raising boys that are in this tech driven,
hmm
and they are some of the smartest kids. We had encyclopedias, and we had to go in the library, and we had to go to that weird,
Dewey Decimal System.
yes, in that
Yes.
card catalog, and then go find a book, and then kind of look through the book. But they could just type in and learn, and they are incredibly smart because of this
Right.
technology.
And like I said, technology's great until it fails.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what worries me about the kids is, you know, everything's done on the computers. Well, electric goes down and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
What, are the kids going to be? I mean, remember sitting in grade school? Where was a movie that taught us how to use the Dewey Decimal
Yeah,
System? Dumbest movie ever.
yeah.
Hated it. But, we knew how to catalog. We knew how to go get the file cards, go to the library, go to the, encyclopedia. And that's what this AI stuff really concerns me is are the kids, and I keep saying kids, but the people working, the kids that are
Mm-hmm.
out of college now. And I think, the kids going into college, they need to decide what they're doing before they go into college anymore.
I work with a lot of millennials. They don't even know how to do their laundry,
Well,
and that's
I don't know how to do my laundry
well.
either, so I'm not going to rub them on that. Luckily, there is a beautiful woman that does my laundry. At least I'm pretty sure she does it because it's always in the drawers and it's always in the closet when I go there in the mornings. So with the kids, with the kids need to know how they got to go to college. They need to know what they're doing before they get into college because I think the 4 or 5 years they're spending in college, as fast as AI and technology is moving now, that job might already be obsolete.
Yeah, and we've got our oldest is now looking to, his SATs, and we keep pushing our boys to. You need to know what you want because you don't want to waste. College is expensive. It's so expensive,
Right.
and we want them to get these prerequisites out of the way before they even go to college,
Right.
so they could focus on their core classes.
Mm-hmm.
And seriously, I can't express enough how smart these boys are and how driven they are. So if we could get those core classes out of the way, they could focus so much on what they want to do.
Right. And then I think what colleges need to do is they need to stop all these stupid classes that don't pertain to what the kids are going into, and looping that back to AI. If there's something that they don't know or in these courses, they're going to look it up on the AI
Yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
So, make it pertain to if they're going to school to be a doctor or a lawyer or whatever, make sure those classes are geared toward that because with technology, they're going to look it up anyways.
Yeah.
I personally, I don't use like the, what was it, Chat GPT or
Yep.
something. I've never used it.
It's incredible and scary at the same time.
I might have to check that out.
If you have to craft an email and impress bosses,
Oh yeah,
type in what you say and say, make it professional, and it will craft a whole email for you.
I'll have to remember that.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever been unemployed?
Several times for short stints in the construction, yes. Usually it was always around Christmas time, Well, yeah, it was always that's when the economy slows down or the presidential election. But never for very long. I mean, this is the way it is in construction. I can maybe count on my hand, the number of times.
That's very fortunate because I've had 8 months to a year where I'm struggling and trying to figure out how to, pay the bills. And I would work with my brother-in-law in construction. That's how I learned a lot. And it's scary And I feel like this job market now, these college kids coming out with AI,
Mhm.
we're on the precipice of a lot of jobs that are going to fall to the wayside. And I fear for the future of these college graduates.
Yeah, I do as well. I think it's just something that the country's got to figure out.
Mm,
How far are we going to push this AI or computers and everything? And a very good example is the stupid self checkout things. I hate those things
I'm
with
not
a
going to lie, I used it
passion.
today.
I mean, I have literally left the shopping cart at at the front
Mm,
because I'm not doing it. I am not using those. The stores make enough money. They
mm,
can hire the 16-year-old kid,
yeah,
to stand there and do the checkout.
yeah.
They're making millions and millions of dollars, and that's just another thing of technology and AI and everything taking jobs.
I agree. I agree.
So, what do you think about all the AI celebrity mumbo jumbo stuff about the actors are all up in arms about
There's,
AI is going to take our
but they
jobs? And
keep selling their likeness to these AI companies, and they can just use it for anything, and it looks ridiculously fake.
yeah,
All these AI, like a famous rapper that we grew up with, sold his likeness
hmm
uh, to AI, and the commercials that he's in, it looks uh, hyper real,
oh yeah.
too uh, cartoony real. If that's a thing.
So yeah, the celebrities, the AI whole thing, I could really. I just don't care about celebrities.
Yeah, I don't either.
I
I
just
don't
don't.
either.
I don't care about them. It's just not something. Now I know you always see on Instagram and Facebook and everything that all these new kind of robots they're coming up with, and
Oh,
they've got
yeah.
some of the women type robots and
Yeah.
everything, and all this. And
For the sex.
yeah, I mean that's what it's for. I mean,
Yeah.
hey, I mean, if that's your bag, baby, then go ahead. But
The,
you know, I mean,
I mean, if it's real feel.
but I mean, some of this AI stuff like that, and the computers and technology. But yeah, the robots that look like people.
And
And they move.
yeah, I know
They
their
move.
facial expressions move,
They
and
move and they talk and stuff. And I'm telling you, man, and it's not going to be long, and it's going to be the robot takeover.
I agree.
You
I
know,
agree. I love robots.
I would say one thing though that the robots won't be able to do, or AI, is
Yes,
make that
or make
or
these.
make these.
Yeah.
Now I know everybody's gonna say, well, Jason, they got the hand rolled and they
Mm,
got the machine rolled. All right, that's true.
mm.
However, they still ain't coming up with the blends and stuff and that personalized
They
taste.
can't see the leaves. The wrappers on cigars are the most important part of the cigar, and they're not going to be able to see that
No.
and stretch it out and do those. Maybe they might be able to do the cut, but no, I agree. We are not going to get handcrafted bourbon or drinks or booze or these cigars.
Right. Right. So I guess in closing, thinking back about a famous 1980s movie, if you see a big lightning bolt come down and you see this big muscular burly guy that's butt naked running at you, that means the robots are coming.
Oh yeah,
So if you
yeah,
see that, everybody, I'll see you.
yeah.
And yeah, I'm out for that. So
Cheers
cheers,
to robots. We love robots.
all robots.
All robots.
Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.